This section is I quit my job by JethroCool. Like, so the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. So let's into this section in 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, as you can tell by the title, I have quit my job, and today I'm just going to be talking about that a little bit and talk about what I'm going to be doing right now, kind of just like my plans for the future. So let's get into it. I was working at a fairly popular fast food chain, one that you've
Yeah.
probably heard of, but if I asked you to name a bunch of fast food chains, it probably wouldn't be one that you name unless you go there often. I don't know, does that make any sense? It's like a higher end fast food. It's a burger place. It's not In-N-Out. Um, oh, and I will say with the quitting, like I didn't just like leave on the spot or whatever, I put in a 2 weeks. I even offered them a month. But they denied it. They were like, you can just do 2 weeks. I was like, all right, cool. I did 2 weeks, and I worked my ass off the last 2 weeks, and about 2 days ago was my last day at this establishment. So the reason why I quit, you can basically chop it up to instability. It's an unstable place for me right now.
Oh,
And
really?
it doesn't mean it's unstable for everyone. People working there, I'm sure, were fine, but the amount of stress it was putting me under, the amount of physical pain I've gone through there, and just like mental pain and
Wow.
just all this stuff was just getting too much, and I basically just called it quits. And um it was actually a nice exit though. Like, I didn't have any hard feelings with my boss or whatever. My boss was treating me well the whole time. He was good to me, he cared for me. He ran the store pretty well. He helped me a lot through it. And I didn't have any spite against him or against the company or anything. It was just like my time to step back, because originally, here, let's give some context, bro. I got hired on as a cashier. I didn't even get trained. First day I walk in, it's just me and the general manager, or second day I think, just me and the general manager. She sticks me at the register. She's just like, all right, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm like, all right, cool. That's how it went, and that's how it continued to go. Nobody ever taught me anything. So
Wow.
even like a few days ago, it's like literally like my last day, and people are like, oh, we don't do that, we're supposed to do it this way, and I'm their manager. I'm like, oh, okay. I never got trained
Okay.
on any of that shit. But after 3 months of being an exceptional cashier, I got promoted to shift leader, so I was manager there for about 5 months. And it was good. Like, it has benefits. It feels good being a manager. Um, I actually did get, like, actual benefits, and I got a good pay on a steady, full-time job with about 45 hours a week. It was good. Like, I had it good there, I won't lie. But it was really stressful, and it was really taking a toll on my mental health, and honestly my physical health a lot too. Like, I burned the shit out of my feet, and I had to be off work for 5 days, like
Wow, really?
based off a workplace accident, which you guys might have saw. Like, my foot was wrapped up in like a live stream I did like 2 months ago, dude. I dropped yeah, I was in the kitchen, and I was trying to unload this like grease trap thing on a flat that we cook bacon on.
Yeah.
So 400-degree bacon oil. I gotta take it out and dump it in this, grease trap thing. But the problem was, it was like very, very overflowing to the point where I can't let it sit there. It's gonna get more stuff in it. I gotta try to take it out,
Yeah.
but it's overflowing, so it's dangerous. And it's supposed to be a two-person task, but I was the only person there. Actually, they didn't say it was supposed to be a two-person task until after. Like, everybody was doing it alone until I got hurt in this, and now everybody's doing it with two people, which is kind of funny. But I dropped an entire vat of 400-degree burning oil on my feet,
Wow.
and I got second-degree burns on both my feet, and I had to go to urgent care. Like, we literally had to close the store for 30 minutes so I could go to urgent care, and so that other people could come, because I was the only cook at the time. And yeah, dude, I had to be out of work for 5 days because of that, man. Looking back on it now, it's kind of funny, and but yeah, for like the first 2 months of being a manager, like literally after a week, we just had two managers, and then it was me, one other shift lead, and then our boss, who was a shift leader who just got promoted to a general manager, right? So he kind of knows what he's doing. The district manager was kind of showing him the ropes, but eventually he got really good at his job. But the first month or so was rough, and then our other shift leader just quits. So it's just me and my boss, the only managers for 2 months. So basically,
Wow.
almost every week, like I would work 5 days, and 2 of those days would be a straight up open to close. That way, my boss could have 2 days off. He would work 5 days. 2 of those days would be a straight up open to close, so that I could have 2 days off. And open to close means 14 and a half hours of work. So 2 days a week, I was doing 14 hours, and the rest of it, I was doing like 8 to 9 hours. Working a shit ton of hours. My fucking maximum, at one point, I did a 122-hour pay period, which is an average of 61 hours a week. For an 18-year-old,
Wow.
that's insane. Nobody should be working that much, man. Yeah. After a bit, actually things got better. We hired more managers. We hired more cashiers, cooks. I was even involved in the hiring process. I did interviews, and I had a say in who was hired and who wasn't. And things were starting to turn up, but it was just stressful, man. And the hours, because I had agreed to open availability, I had open availability, and a 45-hour week by itself isn't bad. But when you stack it up the way that it was, it got very stressful. Like I'd have to work. It wasn't like 5 days a week. You get 8.5 hours all 5 days all at the same time. It was like Monday I'm doing open to close. Tuesday I'm opening from 9 to 5.
95.
Wednesday I'm closing from 3 to 10:30. And then the next day I'm doing an open to close, and then I got one day off, and then I'm doing an open to close, and I get one day off, and then I'm doing an opening shift. Like it was scattered, and it's not that that's a bad thing, because for that type of business, I feel like they kind of have to have it like that.
Yeah.
But it was getting tough. It was stressful because as a 18-year-old manager, kids that are in high school about the same age as me, I'm trying to tell them what to do. They don't want to listen because I'm 18. I'm fucking a year older than them. It's like, what am I going to do? I would threaten to call my boss. I'd be like, do I have to call so-and-so over? And they would be like, all right, like, I'll do it. Because at first, as an 18-year-old manager, you want to be the chill manager. You want to be the guy who just lets shit
Yeah.
slide. And you want to be the manager you wish you had. And then they get on my fucking nerves, and they push my buttons. And so now I have to be big boss manager mode, right? Same thing with older folks. It doesn't even get any better. People younger than me don't take me seriously. And then I also have to boss around dudes who are 30, dudes who are 27, dudes who are fucking pushing 40.
Wow.
And I gotta tell them to take the trash out. And they don't like that. And they don't take me seriously. And they don't like that I'm a manager and that I'm in that position telling them what to do. And I talk about this job like it's the worst thing ever. It's not horrible, man. It's just there's parts of it that me as a, fairly immature adult, young adult, couldn't handle. Given my previous mental states, just how my life was at the moment, I just couldn't handle that stuff, And then, like I said, it's taking a toll on me physically, dude. Like I got wrist problems from all the stuff I've been carrying. I will say though,
Wow.
I haven't been to the gym in a long time, and I've gotten bigger. Straight up just from working and lifting stuff. But like I said, it's also put pressure on both of my wrists are a little fucked up. I'm riddled with acne, dude, which isn't different from before, but it feels like it's correlated to straight up just fryer fumes and oil and stuff. I got massive back problems. I got fucking knee problems, which were already there before, but because of the stress of this job and all this stuff I'm lifting and physical strain, it's made it worse. I'd go home. If I work more than like 9 hours in a day, when I get home, it feels like there's growing pains in my legs for hours. I know they're not growing. It just fucking hurts, but it feels like growing pains. And then on top of that, like I said, I burn my, working as a cook, like you get burned all the time, you get cut all the time. I was mostly in the kitchen because kitchen is what needs the most help in a restaurant, honestly. Like front of house,
Yeah.
there's only so much you can delegate for them. There's only so much you can teach them how to do, and then it's pretty much all up to them. And then, if they need to call over a manager for something, I'm there. Kitchen, I'm constantly correcting them, teaching them how to do stuff. I'm in the kitchen working with them. That's what needs the most help. But in the kitchen, I'm constantly getting burned. You can't even avoid it either. It's like I'm cleaning the grill, and out of nowhere, it's like a char particle just boom lands on your arm, and it's like 500 degrees or some shit, and you flick it off, and it was on there for a half a second, but it burned the fuck out of your arm. This one little tiny spot, like.
Wow, really?
And like I said, I dropped a bunch of oil on my feet. Hard on me physically, stressful, and I'm sorry that was a very long rant about my job that probably doesn't even sound so bad to people who work harder jobs. There's so many people who work harder jobs than I do, that work more stressful jobs than I do, that have to do more than me at probably my same age or even younger. Like, I know a dude who's my age who does welding, which probably isn't like too stressful, but people work harder jobs than me. I know I have like first world problems and I'm privileged. I get it. But at the moment for me, that shit was just stressful and I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I put 2 weeks in and I'm now currently unemployed. Here's the game plan though, because I'm not leaving a job with no game plan, right? I know most people are gonna say you should have had a job lined up before you left. I get that, but let me give you my circumstances here. I'm living with my girlfriend's family. They don't want me to charge. They don't want to charge me for rent. Um, I don't have a ton of expenses right now. I'm about to be 19. I pay insurance, I pay gas, I pay groceries, and probably like a ton of other stuff that I'm missing. Some monthly expenses. I also am pretty good at saving money. Like, I hate spending money. Anytime I spend more than $10, like, my brain just explodes. I'm like, I spent $15 on I'll be like, why did I spend $40 on shoes? As, like, my current shoes are, like, falling apart and have holes in them. I'm low-key a cheapskate, I'm not gonna lie. I'm low-key a cheapskate, bro.
I'm a
I
cheapskate.
do not spend money. But it's good, because I have a lot of money saved. And because I have a lot of money saved, and I'm still expecting a paycheck next week, and they're paying out my 40 hours of vacation time, so that's another 2 weeks pay. I'm basically covered on pay for the next 3 weeks, next month. I'm taking about a week to a week and a half off. My birthday is on the 29th. I'm recording this on the 21st. So yeah, I'm gonna take like a week and a half off, and right after my birthday, I'm gonna start trying to line up some interviews and stuff. But right now, I'm already thinking about where I want to apply. I'm already gonna try to put out some applications, and just have a general knowledge of where I want to go. I don't know what I want to do. That's the problem. I'm really good at the fast food stuff. If I work in food again, it's not gonna be fast food. It's gonna be like more higher end restaurant. Like I've thought about being like a cook at like Olive Garden. I'd like to maybe work at like a breakfast place, like probably like a better one though, like US Egg. I don't know if you guys have US Egg. We have one in Arizona. It's good. It's a good breakfast place. The reason I say breakfast so I can, just get up, do my shift, get it over with, done at 3 o'clock, right? That would be nice. So I've thought about being a cook at some restaurants. But I've also thought about some other stuff. Like I might apply to like Trader Joe's. I did inventory for the store. I put in orders so that the store would have food at the place I was working at. So it's like maybe I could have some position at Trader Joe's that makes me do inventory or something like that, man. I'm gonna figure it out. Sorry for ranting so much about the job. I'll try to cut out some of the stuff that's just unnecessary if I can. So definitely, I'm not like, I don't want to stay unemployed long. Obviously, I want to get a job soon. I want to work, I drive myself crazy when I'm just here all day doing nothing, I gotta have a job, because when I was working at that place, like, it gave me a sense of purpose, it's like, oh, I play this big role in this, like, small restaurant in this town, like, I don't know, it felt good. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Wow. Wow, that was wow. That was I quit my job by the well. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. And drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell so you can be notified below. And what? Bye. Wow.